your Science Saturday. My name is Marc. I work for New York State Parks, Long Island region, at Connecticut State Park. Today, we're testing out center of gravity. Center of gravity refers to the central location where gravity can act on an object. You may have also heard of center of mass. Center of mass is the average area where most of the weight is in the middle of an object. For most objects, these two positions are actually in the same place. Today, we'll be testing out two ways to see center of mass and center of gravity. Here are some things that you'll need for this experiment. First thing, take an empty aluminum can and then grab some water. If this can was completely filled up with water or any kind of liquid, the center of mass would be directly in the center of our can because that's the center of where most of our weight is. As the liquid in the can lowers as you drink it, the center of mass will also lower as well. There's a way that we can test it. Take your water, and you're going to want to fill up your empty can about a third of the way, so roughly about here or so. You may be wondering, how is the can able to hold itself up like this? Like we said before, if the weight in the can is lowered, then the center of mass is lowered as well. So that experiment by itself shows center of mass very well. Let's take this concept a little bit further and try something else to show center of gravity. For our next experiment, you're going to need a fork, a spoon, and some toothpicks to get started. For this experiment to work, you want your two utensils to be about the same weight. To start, take your fork and your spoon, and you're going to want to put the spoon in between the tines of the fork. You want the two to have a fairly tight fit. If you have it right, it should make a V shape. Next, take your two utensils and a toothpick, and you're going to want to place it in the middle of the tines of the fork. You don't have to force the toothpick through the tines of the fork. Just try to get it centered as best as you can so that you can balance the two together. This will take a little bit of patience and this will take a little bit of practice, but keep trying and you'll definitely get it right. Just like this. balance it on the tip of your finger. Now, to take this a step further, let's add in our glass. At the same spot where the toothpick balances on your finger is going to be where you want to rest the toothpick on the edge of the glass. Once again, this will take some patience, this will take some practice, but keep trying and you'll get it right. The toothpick in the middle acts as a pivot point between our two weights of our fork and spoon. That center spot is directly where gravity can take hold and act on our object. If you move it too far to the left or right, gravity will take over and our spoon and fork will fall over. For our utensils to balance out, the handles have to point downwards. Because the handles point downwards, this moves the center of gravity below the point where the toothpick touches. Because both of these experiments take practice, be patient, keep trying, and eventually you'll get it. Trust me, it took me a few tries to get it right today as well. This has been your Science Saturday with me, Mark, in the park, and I'll see you guys next week.